What is up, everybody, and welcome to another Baby Maker live Q&A. We're here on the air to answer any questions you've got about the Baby Maker production, logistics, or bikes in general. If you want to tweak the bikes and have a question about that, we're here to answer that. So before the end of this chat, we will answer every single question on here. I see some people starting to roll in. That's very exciting. And lately, the amount of visitors we're getting on these lives is way, way down. This is a Q&A for people, mostly folks who are still waiting on the Baby Maker. So the good news is that means that people are receiving their Baby Makers. We're almost completely done with this campaign, almost completely shipped worldwide, which is so exciting. The team has been working their butts off to make that happen. So thank you, everybody, for the support and the patience to get to that point. I'm still waiting on chat questions to roll in. If you've got anything you want to talk about, feel free to fire away. In the meantime, we did send out to everybody who's received their Baby Maker a survey just to confirm, hey, you got the Baby Maker. Did you have any issues with the order? And also to get really in-depth feedback on the Baby Maker. So with this data, we're going to be able to do a lot of really cool things. For example, associating users' height and weight with the amount of range they get, and using all that aggregate data. We do keep it anonymous, but being able to get like charts for range versus height and weight, range versus fitness level, etc. So really exciting stuff. All right, let's see. We do see some questions coming in. Alex ADB, hello everybody. Hello Alex, how are you doing? Welcome to the live. Thank you for joining us. Steve Thomas, thank you. Adrian Martinez, bike shipped out 3 months ago. Is it coming by mule? Adrian, great question. And I'm going to keep a log too of any questions that I can't answer today, so that we can try and follow up on those. Adrian Martinez, where are you located? We did have an issue with a couple containers. I think, I don't have the container name offhand, I think like T72 or C24, where we sent out all the labels to FedEx for their warehouse to go and distribute from there, label the packages, send on to you. And then several weeks later, we'd hear back from the customer, hey, I never got my bike, the tracking number is not updating. And it turns out somewhere along that process of sending those out to FedEx and just waiting for them to slap the label on and get it out, the label was dropped, is what it's been being called. So that's a challenge we've had to deal with recently, is just reconciling all that and making sure, hey, when we send labels out, these need to go on the bikes and bikes need to go out. So there were quite a few bike shipments that were affected by that, and Troy's been working his ass off to rectify that. From Steve Thomas, any word on the touring kits for the UK, please? Steve, those were on a boat which was scheduled to arrive early October. I'm going to pull up the latest production update so I can give you the latest that I know on that. Troy may have a even better time frame on that when he comes in at 2:10. So let's see here. We do have 2 outstanding containers, which are on the way to Europe. One of those has the final components designated to build the final Baby Makers for Europe and the UK. That one is, let's see here, C14. It's on the OOCL France. And the ETA for that one in Spain is October 15th. So just a couple days here for that to arrive in Spain. Of course, once it arrives, it does need to clear customs, get shipped to our factory, and then from there, those components will be assembled into the last Baby Makers for Europe and UK. C15 contains the touring kits and accessories for Europe and the UK, and that's everything except for extra batteries, I believe, and possibly the chargers, but everything else is on there. The ETA for that was October 7th, so as long as that didn't get held up by something else, that container should be there and should be clearing customs as we speak. From there, we'll have to ship each of those individually. We're still waiting on some paperwork to get FedEx to handle those for mainland Europe, but I believe UK is ready to go for those. So still pushing for Europe, and UK might be going out a little sooner than the EU ones. From Trevnod, hi, Rob and Troy. Paid my VAT in the UK for SP13 on Friday last week. When should I expect my bike to arrive approximately? And will the courier be in touch with tracking, etc.? Thanks. Trevnod, that is fantastic. I'm glad you finally got the VAT notification, got that paid. Typically, it's within like a week to 10 days. I wouldn't expect it to take much longer than that. If you paid last Friday, Troy is probably working on that already. I will highlight your question, though, for Troy. He may know offhand. If you let me know, too, the name associated with your order, perhaps he'll recognize that when he asks. Okay, FLX Troy is in the chat to help out. Awesome. Thank you, Troy. Peter Jan, hello, Rob. Adrian Martinez, I'm in Anaheim, California. Got it. Okay, great. So if that shipped out from California 3 months ago, please check your tracking number. It's likely it still says pending if you did get a tracking number. So that may be one of those cases where it was a dropped label or somebody mislabeled a bike, which caused yours to go out of stock at FedEx, etc. So this I would categorize as kind of a special case if you did get that tracking number and something we'll need to follow up with and resolve for you. Emerald Citizen, hey Rob, hope the leg is good. You're right about the numbers. LOL, only has poor tail end Charlies left. Still waiting for my order 13713. Hopefully Super Troy will be able to enlighten me. Emerald Citizen, hey, great to have you on the chat. Thank you for joining and for being here so often. I really appreciate it. I've never heard that expression before, but I'm gonna steal that from you. Tail end Charlies, that's great. So the final components again are on their way to Europe to build the final bikes for Europe and UK. Those are scheduled to arrive at the port in 2 days. From there, they do need to clear customs, get shipped to our warehouse, and be built into bikes from there. So probably another couple to 3 weeks before we see those get assembled to start shipping out. A realistic time frame for you. Kevin Hausauer. Kevin, I got a reply from support on 23rd August that the bike had not been assigned to a carrier ship yet. Just curious if after almost 2 months, if there is anything new on this. Kevin, for Germany. So Kevin, in Germany, same exact situation as Emerald Citizen there. If you have not been assigned a bike yet and you're in Europe or UK or that area, Switzerland, for example, is included, then it will be from our final shipment of components, which is scheduled to arrive in 2 days. And from there, clear customs and get built into bikes and go from there. So you will be in that last final container if you haven't been allocated one already for Europe. Peter Jan, I received my touring kit about a month ago, but it did have the arms and clips for it. Should I send an email to the usual email? Thank you, bike running great. Yes, Peter. It did not have them. If you have any issues with a product you received from us, it's missing something, arrives damaged, etc. Please take a few photos of everything that you got, the label on the package, and contact us, support@flx.bike. There's also some links on our website if you click the support where you'll be able to go through the support portal and get help on that. We do have a full-time support staff, and while sometimes responses can take several days, our speed has sped up quite a lot the past few weeks. They've been working their tails off to really serve everybody and make sure if anything is wrong with an order that would make it right to you. Arlene Gosul. Hi, I'm in the UK and I've still not received a confirmation email. Your message said that all letters would be sent out on October 6th. What is happening, please? I'm not exactly sure which message you're referring to about the October 6th. I can pull up the latest production update and see what's listed on that. We do kind of divide and conquer these production updates, so I'll do the first part of it in the video. Kaylee will help out with that. She got the information from Troy. So sometimes there can be some discrepancies between what everybody ends up writing. So let's see, SP13, C14. I'm not seeing anything about that October 6th message in our production update. Maybe it was from somewhere else, Arlene, but if you're in the UK and you haven't received a confirmation email, it's safe to assume that your bike will be within the final container of bike components actually, which is scheduled to arrive in Spain in 2 days. That's the estimated time of arrival. From there, it will need to clear customs, get to the factory, be built into bikes, and from there, we'll be sending you out emails saying, hey, your bike is allocated to this shipment, it's ready to go, pay the VAT, and we'll ship it to you. So, Arlene, the light is at the end of the tunnel. If you haven't got it yet, it's just a few weeks out now. From Steve Thomas, great news, thanks. FedEx gave me no warning and just turned up. A lovely surprise. Thank you, Steve. Trev Nod. Hi, Rob, Troy. Yeah, good point. Name is Trevor Ross. Thank you very much. Peter Yan, front fender. Got it. So missing parts to install the front fender. Thank you. Ding. Hi, Rob. Did you give any thought to introducing a question platform for you to answer questions on the live? Still waiting patiently in Wales. Thanks. Ding. Yes. It's something our team has been working on. We're kind of prototyping a new show format now that all the baby makers are being delivered. So stay tuned. It's not something that we want to rush together and just do a poor job of it, but within the next month or so, you may see a new show format from us, which will be a lot more interactive, and hopefully we'll be able to have some of you on the show with video and talk directly to you. Anyways, welcome, Troy.
Hi.
Come on in. Let's make sure. I'm not sure which microphone you are.
Show format.
Yeah.
Should I bring this over
Two.
here?
Okay. Yeah, please.
Should it be right there?
All right. Microphone test. Just test that thing out.
Test.
Whoa.
Too loud?
No, I'm spilling the microphone. Okay. This is tough with only 2 screens.
Come on, chair sit so low.
Oh man, now I gotta get mine higher.
I'm still. I think it's because you're closer. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Welcome, Troy.
Thank you.
Thanks for all the hard work getting everybody's bikes shipped to them. It's amazing. Nobody even came on the live. Everybody's like, "Oh, I got the bike. I'm out riding. I'm gonna forget about you guys."
I hope so. Winter's coming. If you have your bike, get out and ride. I'm sitting here watching us 2 dopes yap away.
That's what we want. Anyways, welcome, and I'll have some questions for you if you want to jump into your update,
Absolutely. And I've posted up some answers already. So, bikes. We have one more container on its way to the U.S. So we actually have about 100 bikes at FedEx in Gardena right now. So we're going to be doing some fulfillment. Can you not hear me?
There's something wrong with this microphone. Try again.
So we have about 100 bikes at FedEx in Gardena, and are moving those out. Again, Rob talked a little bit about kind of some dropped label issues that we've had. So we're going to be sending those out. Some of you will be getting an address confirmation, especially website buyers. We will be sending out some address notifications, and then we'll be shipping those bikes out shortly. We have another container C25, the CSCL Spring, due in 10/29 currently. It's actually at Prince Rupert in Canada, docked and unloading whatever it had for them. And then that'll be another 58 baby makers, more touring packages and chargers, not batteries. Batteries are actually at our partner in China, and we are going to be working on getting those moved over, but we didn't want to hold up this container. So again, another 58 baby makers. We'll be sending out address confirmations probably tomorrow. I'm working on that right now on the allocation of the rest of those, but then a bunch of you are going to be getting notifications of either bikes that are in stock or on the CSCL Spring. I am working, we've had some Hawaii frustrations, we'll call it. I'm going to be sending out some new label sets and new bills of lading today for Hawaii orders that for some reason were returned back from Hawaii. So they were on the water a long time, unfortunately. They went and then they came back. So we're going to ship those back out. They're sitting in Gardena, and we will get those shipped back out. I think we've got the issue rectified.
So they went to Hawaii and back?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I know.
What was the reason? All right.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you just, yeah. I haven't bit my tongue completely off, but it's starting to.
All right.
Yeah. Alaska, your stuff is on the water. Everything has shipped, so Alaska is on its way. Just talked a little bit about the batteries. Those are delivered to our China partner. We'll be moving those on. Those are actually for really the entire world, US, Europe, UK, and Australia. Everyone who hasn't gotten their extra battery orders, those are going to be moving out from China here shortly. And again, we're also going to be sending out address notifications on a whole bunch of touring packages in the next probably 10 days, something like that. So as soon as you get a touring package address notification in the US or Canada, please turn that around very, very quickly if your address has changed. I can take a break or I can move on to Europe.
Let me get some questions for you.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Troy. All right.
Yeah, that's right. Tail and Charlies were the rear gunners for large bombers during World War II. That's right.
That's great. I didn't know about
this.
that.
Well, my father was in a bomber in World War II, so I know this stuff.
Huh. Awesome.
Torpedo bomber actually is in the Pacific.
Interesting. All right. From Anthony Mooney, order number 1229 London, England, paid VAT yesterday, 12 p.m. your time. Just checking your team received it. And will I get a day? I'll receive it. I want to be home for that day. Thanks.
So you should, I don't recognize yours specifically. We just put out SP12 and SP13 VAT notifications. I think that was on Friday, and we got a whole bunch of them. So we uploaded those. They were uploaded, supposed to be uploaded on Monday. Unfortunately, I've been fat fingering these in for quite a while because they've kind of coming through onesie, twosie. This one we sent the label file. There was a problem with the label file. Big Web Warehouse bounced it back. So it did get input today. You should get email notification from Tufnel's that your bike is going to be delivered. I don't recall your specific number. Again, there was probably about 30 or 40 bikes that were being dispatched out of Big Web Warehouse. So if you got your VAT in, if it was in by Friday, yeah, I did that over the weekend, you should be good. And I'm trying to do those every couple of days to keep those moving. And we just put out another set of VAT for Europe, non-UK, and we'll be processing those also.
Awesome.
So it should be on its way.
Great. That's really good. Good to know for UK. We had a few questions about that. Des says, I bought one of your bikes for my grandson. That's just awesome, Des.
Cool.
Hope he enjoys it. All right. If you want to crack on. I'll find
Emerald
some more for
Citizen.
you.
Now you got me the right order number. Okay, I knew there was something wrong with that because it was a order in like the U.S. and I know you're in the U.K. All right, so the Europe and the U.K. So we sent out. We had some bikes that were bounced back. These are the ones that came from the UK to Europe. Some of those bounced back because people didn't pay the VAT. What we're doing is this round, we're going to actually collect the VAT before we send the bikes. We want to make sure that these bikes are going to go through the system here. So those went out today. I think it's about 18 or 20 letters that went out. You will need to pay your VAT, and then we will get those bikes shipped out of the UK to you in the EU. We have some other folks in the EU out of the kind of that same batch of bikes in the UK. We sent out kind of a last chance. We've had some bikes that honestly have been sitting since about April without the VAT paid, and we've tried to honor the allocation and not free those bikes up and ship them to other people, but we're going to deallocate those bikes. We're going to start sending those to other people. But you do ultimately need to pay your VAT. There isn't going to be a bike delivery without it. You've paid for the bike. You really should pay for your VAT. And we do actually have the ability to see when those emails have been opened. So you got your emails, you need to pay your VAT so we can deliver your bike. I mean, it's October. You've got a good month and a half, depending on where you're at, of riding, maybe more.
Yeah,
And
totally.
maybe get some warm weather over winter and get out and get some riding done. But yeah, let's do it. Okay, SP12 and SP13. So for the UK, we put those letters out. A bunch of you guys have been paying your VAT on those. So those are flowing out of Big Web Warehouse and into Tufnells and being delivered already. We just put out we put out an SP12 VAT for the EU, and the SP13 VAT letters for the EU are going out today. Pay your VAT, we'll get those loaded with CrossFlight, and we'll get those bikes moving also. All those bikes have been delivered to distribution, so it isn't a matter of they need to move out of our manufacturing partner in Spain. They are at distribution waiting delivery. So as soon as you pay the VAT, we will get a label cut and we'll get those moving on. You talked a little bit, and I didn't give you an update. I'm sorry, you're using some old information.
Okay.
But then again, I got to have value somehow. So container 14, that is the last load of bikes on the OOCL France. That has arrived at Valencia port. So it is now docked and in port. So it should be unloading. I think it just docked yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Talked with our partner this morning because Monday and Tuesday were a big holiday in Spain, so not a whole lot of people were working. They were celebrating Columbus Day actually in Spain the last 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
They have. I guess that must be a big thing for them.
Yeah, well, they launched it, so
That's funny.
yep.
Can you? Well, I think we need to talk about that a little bit because that's earlier than we said on the update. We said 10:15, and
Yep.
it came in 2 days early. Everybody remember that something happened early in this campaign. Something happened before the estimated date. Wow.
Yeah, I was worried because they were sitting. Actually, I think they actually cleared the Suez because I was watching them and I was like getting worried that they weren't even going to hit those dates, and they apparently cleared the Suez a little bit quicker than we thought they were going to.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
It's a small win, but we'll take it.
Absolutely. So that is the last container of Eurobike parts. As soon as they get those cleared through customs, last time they went pretty quick. I won't get predictive here, but last time they cleared pretty quick, and we got into production fairly rapidly. I think you said maybe 3 weeks or something like that, and those will be moving through sometime, and then probably once we get those out, we'll start sending out address notifications to folks that are assigned to container 14. That would be SP build 14 and 15. And we'll get your address confirmed, and you'll know your bike is on its way. Container 15 was on the one Manchester. That is all the touring kits and accessories, everything minus the batteries. That has arrived at Barcelona port. So it is also both of our ships are docked, and containers hopefully are unloading soon. I'm going to guess those are going to clear more quickly than the bike parts, but I don't know that. Although I do know that they've already asked for some information on those. So that container is unloaded and into customs. So the touring kits are going to be on their way hopefully soon. That's what we're hoping for. We will fulfill EU directly out of Spain, kind of what we've done with CrossFlights, and then we will be moving the UK touring packages up to Big Web Warehouse and distributing them from there. So good news on that. Again, not batteries yet, but I talked about the batteries previously.
Awesome. All right, you got a bunch of questions, Troy.
Oh boy. Okay.
I think you're gonna have to lead these from now on. I'll just I'll be in the back room. All right. Arlene is asking for an update on her order from, let's see, the UK. Okay, great. So I think it's safe to say you're probably in that final container, Arlene. Emerald Citizen gave you that proper order number. From Kevin, thanks for the great updates and the dedication to the project. Cheers. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah, Kevin, I was a little bit worried. So you mentioned you haven't seen your bike yet, but I looked it up and my tracking showed that bike was delivered back in April. So
Oh shit.
yeah, a little bit concerned about that one. I can get a proof of delivery. I would ask that you would contact support. You should have an email with your tracking number and all of that. I don't want to obviously put that out here, but contact support. I've got the information. I'll move that to them. We'll get a proof of delivery and figure out what happened with your bike, and then we'll go from there. So that's kind of a bummer because you should have had it for the last 6 months.
Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the word I would use.
Yeah, that's very poopy. All right, Anthony Mooney, order number 12298, London. He paid his VAT yesterday at 12 p.m. If you paid yesterday, when do you think we'll be sending that for distribution?
I'll probably process those tomorrow and move the file. Depends on how many of them there are. If they have to upload them, it takes a little bit longer. Usually, if it's 10 or more orders, we upload them. If it's less than that, I just I type them in myself. I'll check it. As part of my schedule. I'll check that tomorrow. If it's there, I'll put it in. Owing to time differences, they'll probably pick it on Friday, and then I don't know if it'll move to Tufnell's on Friday or if it'll wait till Monday. But you should be honestly middle of next week, sometime at the latest.
Awesome. We might have a saving grace here with Kevin. He's got two different order numbers here. He might have
Okay.
given you an order number from somebody else who already got it.
No, I looked him up by name, and I just
Okay.
stopped at the very first one. Not a lot of people order two bikes. I mean, a percentage of them do, but not. Okay, so, all right, thank goodness. That means a bike isn't lost. Let me go back and take a look and see if I can find out what's going on with that one, Kevin. Thank you.
Sweet. Danny Griffiths wants to know how are the touring kits and extra chargers being shipped in Europe? Do we have a carrier for that yet? I know we're working on FedEx.
Yeah, we're working on FedEx right now. So the UK, I'm working on getting that set up with FedEx. Obviously, we don't need a large parcel carrier like Tufnell's to do that. And then I'm doing the same thing in Spain. We just haven't gotten that set up yet because of that. Something we're working on. So
Yeah.
yeah, those will all. The goal is to bring those all by FedEx. We would have done the bikes that way, but their conveyors weren't big enough to handle the bikes. So the touring kits are a whole bunch smaller. So
Yeah.
we should be good with that.
All right. Let's see. Mike, how's the spare battery and charger coming? We got that. Ding. Ding. Thank you for the feedback. Not everybody can join the live chat when you redesign. Thank you very much. Alex ADB, thank you, Troy, for getting my beautiful blue raspberry bike to me last week. It is so damn cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm gonna tear up here.
Nice work.
You know what? A saying of mine: you shovel a lot of coal to pick a few diamonds. You know, and those. Thank you. It's because we hear about the problems and people who are happy, they're just out riding their bike, and you know, it's awesome. I love that kind of feedback. It's just great.
It's really tough on Troy and our support team too, because that's all they're dealing with is anytime there's an exception, an issue, FedEx messes up, the warehouse messes up, and then these guys got to spend all their time on it. And so that's all they see is the problems. But what we've seen here is, we surveyed everybody who's got the bike. Vast majority of everybody is so happy with it. Really, really cool to see. So Troy, I'll be sharing this with you too. But check out some of this data we're getting. Let's see here. How likely are you to recommend the Baby Maker to your friends? It's all 8, 9s, 10s.
Yeah.
Super exciting.
That's why we keep saying worth the wait. And
Totally.
Sorry about the wait. And, that's one of those things. And I guess I could talk about, hopefully Container 25 moves to port pretty quickly. Again, I don't know if you guys have seen, in fact, they're really talking about it on a much grander scale about shortages of everything, doing a drudge report and all that. The container traffic is just horrific everywhere. So, but again, that's not an excuse. It's just the reality of what we're dealing with. But we know, people have legitimate complaints and they want to get their bikes, but we live with the knowledge that all the rest of you just love us.
Everybody's doing their best, and I'd say we've done a fine job so far. Troy, you've done an amazing job getting all these bikes out.
Always
and
room for improvement, but it's a we are. So we take it seriously. I mean, and like when we get that kind of feedback, and we've had a lot of people who've been really angry at us,
Mhm.
and then when they get their bike, it's like a different person. They're
Right.
literally like singing our praises and all that type of stuff, and and that's nice. And I understand frustration. I mean,
Mhm.
especially when you're locked down and you're waiting for
Yeah.
your super cool new toy to show up,
And
and
everybody else has their bike, and somebody who ordered after you got it, and they're, God damn it, bastard. I want to be out riding. Understandable for sure.
yeah.
All right, Steven Diker paid the VAT last Friday, so that should have been included in last week's
Yeah, it probably was.
allocation.
So again, we had a little label issue that should have been uploaded today, and you should be hearing from them. I'll go back. Let me go take a look at that one. Your name is familiar because you've hit us a few times on here, but let me go take a look, and I'll put the message back in here. So stay tuned.
Great. Mark says, "Hey, Rob and Troy, see ya. Going for a ride now on my baby."
There you go.
Awesome.
Good. Priorities. Ride your bike.
All right,
Listen,
let's
us
see.
two
I'm
clowns.
gonna try and pull out any special tickets for you, Troy.
60.
Okay.
Oh,
Hi,
nice.
guys. Still waiting on my tracking number. Order May 2020, number 10449. Looks like an Indiegogo order. Not sure where that's based, but we can check that out. Kenneth Camera, sorry I'm late. Question for you guys. My order 97282 was supposed to be on C23. Estimated shipping at the time was end of June to end of August. Support has no idea where it is. Any ideas? Troy is writing that down,
Yep.
Kenneth. I think he's going to look into that.
Yep.
And just so you know, U.S., we are at about 99.6, 99.7% shipped for all the orders. There's a handful of bikes, I think like 30 or 40, which have yet to be fulfilled. And we're expecting more baby makers to come for the U.S. in around the end of November, early December. So if you're the final few orders in the U.S. and you haven't heard from us yet, you can expect to be allocated from that shipment. We'll have some exciting news for you once those get closer. Trevnod, do Tough Nails get in touch via email or text, as I paid my VAT on the Friday but haven't heard from them yet?
Yeah, so they send email, and usually that email goes out at the time of receipt at Tough Nulls, which basically means it probably hasn't been transferred yet to Tough Nulls. Now they do it, when I say transferred to Tough Nulls, it has to be, they have to do the intake at their warehouse. So they pick it up at Big Web Warehouse, and then they do the intake at their warehouse, and then or into their distribution and move it. But again, since it's fairly late there, if you haven't seen an email yet, actually I think they have a timed thing. They're 9 hours, 11:30 there, and I think they run a batch at like midnight if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to stay up that late or first thing in the morning, hopefully you'll have an email with that information.
Awesome. All right. Let's see.
12245. Oh, it's the one right next to it. That's embarrassing. Okay, I need to see that. I'm looking at Kevin's thing, so you gave me
Okay.
the number here. Okay.
Martin W. is asking for an ETA for Hawaii.
Yeah, that I know. I recognize the name, and I know who this is. This is actually the one I'm preparing the thing. This is one of the bounce backs. Your bike made it all the way to Hawaii and then got sent back. So I'm preparing that bill of lading and labels to send that one back out to you. I recognize the name.
So if there's no challenges with that, are we talking 2 weeks, a month, 6
Probably
weeks?
about 3 weeks, something in
Okay.
that range. Yes.
Sweet. We'll call it 4 weeks to be conservative, Martin. Around 4 weeks is probably when you can expect that bike in Hawaii. Steve Thomas, brilliant news about touring kits. Thank you very much. Awesome. Kevin, we did touch on that.
Got that one. I'll paste something back in. I'll respond to that one.
Kenneth Lonis, can you do anything about the display mount breakage? Kenneth, that's something we have received multiple complaints about, and we do see it in the Facebook group as well. We have had some challenges with it because when the first bikes shipped, it became apparent that some folks were claiming their original display was damaged to get a new one, because there were two different versions of displays. So our warranty process has got a little mixed up for that. But that is something that we have put a special project for our engineers on looking into to see if we can get a more robust mounting system for the display for future models, and also something that would be compatible on the current baby makers as well. So it is something that we are working on, Kenneth. All right. Jam Bomus, contribution 13880 due for UK. What are emails being sent and estimated delivery, please? So if he's in the upcoming build, when would he expect an email from us?
Well, it depends on when it clears customs. As soon as it clears customs and we have the build plan, let's hope it clears in, well, that again, the touring packages are the ones that are in customs right now. The bike parts are not. So we're probably, I would say probably 2 to 3 weeks out, and you'll get a notification. There'll be an address notification, allow you to verify your address, and then it's, VAT will follow pretty quickly after that. When you get your address notification, please, 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 if you've moved, update that immediately. We've had people who actually send in their address notification after the bike has already shipped. And if we don't hear from you, we don't know any better. And especially in the UK and the EU, when we send those out, it's usually a pretty quick turnaround. Luckily, you'll get a UK or a VAT notice, but we've had people pay their VAT and then come back and give us an address change after the fact, which is can get a little tricky.
Great. All right.
Is that it?
We've got a couple more for you, I think. Tanneroo, order 9010630
Yeah, I wrote that one
in
down.
Everett, Washington. You got it?
Yep.
Great.
Australian VM Pro. Oh, okay. So
Sweet.
Australia. Oh, I never finished that. Okay, so Australia and New Zealand. I'm sorry, that was the last piece of that. So everything is all packaged up. We're just working on the transport right now. Again, because of the way things are, they like to move full containers, and this is a less than container load that we're going to move down to Australia for Australia and New Zealand, and we are working on the logistics of that. Everything's good to go. Your touring packages and all of that are going to be in that container, and the last of the bikes for you folks.
Awesome. Okay, Andres, we got you. Steve, thanks for the weekly updates. Appreciate your efforts in getting these bikes all over the world. Monumental effort. I ordered March 2021. Will these bikes make it by the November timeframe you mentioned? Yes, Steve. So that is end of November at the earliest, and it possibly into December for that next U.S. baby maker batch. So if you haven't been allocated yet for the U.S., you can expect to be in that one. And if that's the case, you can expect to receive an email from us explaining it in greater detail as that gets closer. So hang tight. It's super exciting. There will be some minor tweaks to that batch as well. From Kevin off to bed, Trebnod. Kenneth, I was 272 and I love the bike. I thought everything was great, and just today the display mount broke apart completely. I have it cobbed together, but I just wanted to check on the possibilities. Got it. Kenneth, please contact our support team. Send in some pictures and exactly what happened with the display, and we can sort you out. That display is a hot issue for our support team, so let me know how it's handled, and I'll check in with them as well. All right, Jeffrey Foulon, hi Troy, ordered Indiegogo 10449, May 2020, New York. Support told me they will send tracking early this week, but till now I haven't received anything. Thanks.
I'll take a look.
Foulon, great. Troy's going to take a look on that.
I've got that one written down.
And I'm also going to look that up and see what it looks like in our support team to make sure we're all on the same page here. Huh. Got it. Yeah, so it says we had a label for FedEx last week. Interesting. Cool. So we'll look into that.
Yep. Will do.
All right, Troy.
We're good?
Yeah, thank you so much for
All
the
right.
update. I'll let you get back to it with a big round of applause. If I can find that. You can't leave until we get the applause. Let's see. There it is. All right, you ready?
I don't do any applause.
You gotta take a bow. Hey, thank you so much, Troy. Troy's an absolute rock star. My God. And we're almost through everything. I did skip a few questions there just to get Troy the relevant ones. So I'm going to come back through these and try and pick up any that I missed. Sorry if you feel ignored. That's not the intention at all. Just trying to make the best use of Troy's time while we have him here before he gets back to the spreadsheets and the calls with our shipping partners. So let's see here. Where have we left off? Emerald Citizen, Danny Griffiths, we got you. Des, we got it. Mike Ding, we got it. Trebnod, we got it. I guess we have been answering most of these. Okay, missed this one from Jordan. Just curious, how much is average VAT costs? So that varies on where you are in Europe. Different countries have different VAT rates. I think on average it's around 20%, 21%, sometimes 17%. There are countries I see that are as low as 9%, and even, for example, Switzerland, which I believe is VAT free. Everywhere else, U.S., there's no VAT on that. Australia gets hit with something around 10 to 14%, I think. Canada is about 14%. New Zealand, I can't remember offhand. But they're all pretty low percentages. Sometimes you see crazy high VAT rates. Like India, I believe, for an e-bike is about a 100% tax rate. That's why we didn't ship any orders to India. That's something that's really challenging. All right, let's see. That was Jordan. Kenneth, we talked about the display. Trebnod says, Troy, is that correct? Tough Nails will deliver without telling me the day it will arrive. Surely not. Trebnod, not just for UK, we have unfortunately seen that in multiple countries, including the US as well, where folks are reporting, I didn't even know, but the bike just showed up there. So what that can be is perhaps the email with the tracking number didn't get to that person. They weren't able to track it to their door. And also we require a signature in the US, and a lot of times, unfortunately, the driver just drops it off and they'll sign it. It's completely against company policy for the delivery company, but sometimes the drivers are doing that. So I would recommend for everybody, if you're waiting on your baby maker, please keep an eye on your email, get that tracking number, track it to your door, make sure you're there when it says it's going to arrive. If you can get that information in your tracking. FedEx, they do have like a delivery manager app that you can sign up for that will notify you when shipments are coming, and that can be very helpful. Even if you don't have a tracking number, it will notify you. Okay. Andres Saldana, would I be able to get an update on my bike? Okay, we gave that one to Troy, I believe, 98-217. Let's see. Ding says, to be fair, you've had many issues stacked against you. Ding, we're doing our best. We didn't imagine it would be a perfect process, but we knew that no matter what happens, we will get through it and we will deliver these bikes. That's why when we launched the campaign, we couldn't give an exact delivery date to anybody. It was all estimates, to our best estimates. And fortunately, the first bikes actually left before our estimates. We estimated September for the first bikes. The first ones left in August, so we were a little ahead of schedule for the first ones. And then the challenges started coming on in waves, and Obviously, it stretched until now to get through all of the bikes. But again, we can't control the things that are thrown our way. We can't control how we react to them. And we are committed to seeing this through to the very end and making sure you get your bike. Trevnod is the only way to send Baby Maker pics to you via Facebook. Some of us don't have Facebook. I deleted mine. Trevnod, I salute you for that. I wouldn't be on Facebook either if it wasn't for the business of being able to connect with all of our backers. But you can also tag us on Instagram, tag at FLX.bike or hashtag FLXbike, Babymaker, etc. That's one way. Or you can just email them straight to us and say, hey, check these out. I took some pictures. Jeffrey, we got yours. Mr. Kosnick, hey guys, any status updates on C14 and when the production and delivery to Cyprus might happen? Thank you. Mr. Kosnick, great question. So C14 actually, I believe it arrived yesterday, according to Troy. It was scheduled to arrive on the 15th, so it was actually ahead of schedule. That arrived in Spain. From there, it does have to clear customs. We're hoping for a smooth import, as always. So it's not quite through customs. That might take a week. It could also take longer. The last one took about a week. So realistically, it's probably going to be about 2-3 weeks before we start seeing the bikes from that container being built. That's if nothing goes wrong with the customs import. If it goes through smoothly, we're looking about 2-3 weeks to start seeing those bikes built and shipped. Kenneth Camera, I was also told I was going to get tracking, but that was 2 to 3 weeks ago. Thank you, Kenneth. I'm going to look that one up too. Let me save that, Kenneth. Thank you. One of our principles here at FLX is to be impeccable with your word. So if you're told one thing, that is what should happen. So that does kind of go against our principles, and if that's the case, definitely something that we need to look into and improve moving forward. Janice, hi, just joined the live, so not sure if similar question was asked. I'm in Switzerland, order 12175. I was told my bike is on SP12. I got address confirmation on September 14th and nothing since then. When should I expect the VAT email? Great question, Janice. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. There's a Z at the end. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Janice. But anyway, Switzerland, SP12. I would expect that you should have got the VAT email already. So please check your spam folder. I'm sure you probably already did that. I'm going to also save your question for our logistics team so that they can check on that. But if it was SP12, I would have expected it to leave, at least for that VAT email to go out to you already. Okay, Duklaikana. I have 2 orders, 3 bikes. Received only one in July 21st. Since the U.S. order is 96% shipped, could you check on the status of my other 2 bikes? Number 99177 in 1220 for 2 bikes, and order number 99567 in 221. I'm going to write that down. I personally cannot check on the orders. I wish I could get that, at the snap of a finger, but those are things that we need to spend a little bit more time looking into. So I'm going to write that down. And I can tell you that if you're in the U.S. and you haven't heard from us in regards to the allocation of your bike, exactly when it's coming, it's probably likely that you're in the final handful of orders that have not been allocated yet for the U.S. For reference, we are at about 99.6 or 99.7% shipped for the U.S. So it's just a final handful of bikes that we're waiting on. And the next shipment for those for the U.S., we're expecting that to be in the end of November, early December. So if you're still waiting, you can expect to hear from us around then with an update on the order when we do have further certainty on, okay, everything's here, it's ready to go, and here's when you can expect it. So keep an eye out on your email, and no matter what, we are going to get it to you. It's just a matter of a little bit more time. So Danny says, hey Rob, it's starting to get really rainy here. How wet can the baby maker get before I need to worry? Danny, it is Ip65 Waterproof, which is, you can't go swimming with it. Don't do that. I wouldn't go through any deep puddles that are going to submerge the bike. But if you're in a normal amount of rain and you get the bike in and you take care of it, that means kind of wiping down the motor, the display, place where the electronics are. That's going to go a really long way toward prolonging the lifespan of your bike, because the harsher the conditions you ride anything in, whether it's your car or your bike, the faster it's going to wear down. So water, while you can ride in it, it is going to have an effect on the lifespan of that bike. So my answer to that, if it was my own bike, I'm going to go for it like every time, and I'll just deal with the consequences. If you want it to last a lifetime though, maybe you don't ride in so much rain. From Williard Hutch. Hey Rob, question. I ordered an extra battery and charger with my original baby maker order. I received my bike a couple months ago, but no signs of the battery and charger. Can you give me an ETA, please? Williard, yes, there was a battery shortage in China where we produced the batteries, and the only thing really available to get it was Chinese-made cells, and we're not going to swap to that. We only use name brand, literally the highest capacity cell you can get, and because of the car market booming, those are in high demand, so it created a shortage of batteries. But those batteries have been in progress. We're just waiting for delivery on them to our partners in China, and then they will be sent here and shipped out from there. So it's probably going to be another couple months before those batteries will ship, Williard. Archbus, contribution ID 4834. I still haven't received the extra battery I ordered, but I did receive my bike. This is a repeat of my previous comment in case you missed it. Archbus, yeah, same exact answer there. We are waiting on the extra batteries, battery shortage. So hang tight for that. Again, it's probably going to be a couple of months before those batteries come through. And I believe we're shipping the chargers with the batteries. Don't quote me on that. FLX Troy has responded to Kevin. So your bike was bounced for a quality issue. We're getting some additional frames to correct quality issues on the next container. Got it. So every once in a while that can happen where we have a planned amount of bikes to build, and for some reason one of the bikes didn't pass our quality check. So maybe there was a blemish in the paint, etc. And so that bike needs to be pulled, and sometimes we just don't have an available bike to replace it. So what ends up being shipped is short of what we had planned, and in that case, it creates a hole for a rider that bike was allocated to. And Kevin, you seem to be the victim of that, so we will be allocating you a new bike. From Miss Caramel Love. Hello, Rob. Pleasure to meet you. Hey, pleasure to meet you as well. Thank you for joining the live. Really appreciate it. Tim Ferris. Hey, Rob. Mr. Ferris. Happy Baby Maker owner. Just dropping by to say hi. Still happy as can be. Waiting for the Beast and Baby Maker 2. Signed up for both. No rush. Still enjoying my green machine. Tim, hey, that means the world to me. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm really glad you're enjoying your green machine, and I can't wait to get you on a Baby Maker 2 or the Beast as well. Hang tight, Tim, and enjoy the ride until then. From Duke Laicana. I know I'm butchering the name. Sorry in advance. Thanks. Appreciate your effort. Williard Hotch, thanks for answering my question. FLX Troy, contact support. Janice, thanks, Rob. I'm checking spam every day, hoping to see that VAT email. Hopefully soon. Fingers crossed. Troy, if you're watching that, maybe you can fill us in. Janice was order 12-175. She was told her bike was on SP12. She got the address confirmation on September 14th and nothing since then. All right, guys, we're down to the final minutes of the live, and that's all the questions here. So this is the last chance for the next 2 weeks to throw out your questions and have them answered live on air. Please get those questions in if you want it answered. Really, really Can't tell you guys how much I appreciate your time today. We know how valuable your attention is, and it's the most valuable asset you've got. So thank you for spending it with us today. If it was even for just a few minutes, it really means a lot. For everybody that is still waiting on a bike, thank you for your patience. We're finally, so close to finishing this thing, at least getting all the bikes out. The accessories will take another couple months, especially for those batteries, but we're almost there, guys. It's been a hell of an undertaking, and we've been partners in crime all the way till now, getting this thing done. So thank you, everybody, for sticking with us, for riding this out with us, so that you can get the bike of our dreams. Oh, Miss Love, Ruth from Electra Mechanica. I just met her in the parking lot, actually, on my after lunch walk. I'm trying to stretch the leg out, and she's got a one-seat electric car, three-wheel electric car. She works with Electra Mechanica. If anybody's in the market for one of those, check her out. It was a really cool car. It goes like 100 miles per charge, 80 miles an hour. I think they're really affordable. So if you're looking to upgrade to three wheels, check that company out. Emerald Citizen, by the way, question about the weapon. Will this be available to UK? Emerald Citizen, we're still working that out. Full transparency, EU and UK, while it's only represented 10 to 20% of our baby maker orders, it's probably been 60 to 70% of the work, just with the logistics challenges, etc., for our logistics team. So when we do launch the weapon, if we do launch to EU, UK, we're definitely going to need to have some fundamental improvements, some systemic improvements to our systems to be able to handle that, so that you guys are better informed about the process, so that nobody's stuck waiting and we don't also end up with surprises in terms of VAT, etc. So long story short, Emerald Citizen, maybe. It's a big maybe. I would absolutely love to do it, but I don't want to promise anything that we can't follow through with and that we can't do a good job with. Kenneth Camera, how will I be updated? I believe you're asking about a tracking number. Generally, it's by email. We just email the tracking numbers out when we get them. If you're in the U.S., also, I'd advise you to sign up for the FedEx Delivery Manager, I believe is what it's called. And even if you don't get sent a tracking number, say the email doesn't go through, the app will pick it up. They'll notice, hey, there's a shipment coming for your name, your address, and they'll tell you. They'll say, hey, you have a package coming. So it's kind of a safeguard, a safety net. In case something happens, you'll still be able to track that bike to your door. Emerald Citizen, is there a difference between the VIP subscription between Weapon and Weapon X? Yes, the Weapon X is like absolute top shelf, best of the best in terms of components, everything you can get. And the Weapon is it's still very high quality bike, very good components. However, it's not taken to the extreme like the Weapon X in terms of just absolutely, going all out. Price is not an issue in terms of components. We just buy the best of everything we can get. So the Weapon is going to be, it's a really cool full suspension bike. Great components on that. And then the Weapon X just takes it and turns it up to level 11. Shi Chang Li, can you tell us anything about the Weapon X? It is in development. I don't know if we can even still say it's in development. We have the prototypes. We've got 4 of those that we've been testing out here. We found a couple of tweaks that we want to make before launch. We're going to continue riding them, continue assessing and making sure that we can just beat the hell out of them and see if anything breaks, if anything needs to be improved before we launch it, because we know you guys are going to ride that way too, and we don't want it to break on you. So that's what we're doing right now. We're working on the plan for launching that, and we'll have more information on that very soon. Kenneth Camera, yeah, I am signed up for that, but why doesn't support know where my bike is? They keep telling me they'll get back to me, but I haven't gotten a concrete answer in weeks. Kenneth, I totally understand where you come from. with that. The way it works with our support team is they do handle all the inquiries and questions and stuff like that. However, they are not in the logistics team, so they don't have immediate access to things like expected tracking numbers, etc. That's something our logistics team, and they spend a lot of time working on this. It's kind of a back and forth between the logistics team and FedEx, and because of that, it's such a human, manual labor intensive process. Right now, at the moment, there's just no way to systemize that on computers so that support can have immediate access to these numbers and statuses, etc. So a lot more work goes into it than just checking a spreadsheet, for example, for a tracking number. There's a lot of back and forth. And while they absolutely do want to answer that inquiry for you and get you that tracking number, the only reason why they have not gotten that tracking number to you so far is probably because our logistics team hasn't been able to get it yet either, because they're probably still working on that with FedEx. So as soon as possible, when we can get it, they will send that back to you. That's the standard operating procedure. From Shichang Li, what would be the price difference in between Weapon and Weapon X? That is, if you could tell us right now. It will be a couple thousand at least price difference between those two bikes. Dave L. Rob, what's up, brother? I'm loving my 2 BM bikes. Just getting great reviews from people asking where I got the bikes from. Thank the rest of the Baby Maker team for all that they have done. Dave, thank you so much for the feedback. That means the world to me. Really strong way to end the live. Really appreciate it. FLX Troy is answering a few questions here. Ronnie K. Hi, Rob. Always great to see you and hear the updates. I appreciate your commitment, guys. It's Rooney K. Thank you so much, Rooney. Really appreciate it. And it's the least we can do. You guys are the heroes here. You've been so patient with us through this entire campaign. The COVID pandemic-related supply chain challenges have been monumental, to say the least. But this team here, Troy, the logistics team, the support team especially, managing all the inquiries, etc., have absolutely been worked to the bone to make sure that we can deliver on our promises here, and we're going to do that. All right, guys, that is all the questions for today. We're a little bit over time. I'm going to end the live here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to end this with a cool song here. Let's go. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.